Hi, this is Mr. Warden. I'm going to do a few comments about section 3.4, chapter 3, part 4, which is on overlapping triangles. So what they literally are using the fact that triangles could overlap to prove things about them. So here we have this little structure here, little hat. We've got DB is congruent to AC, so I'll go ahead and label that. So DB, which is this whole bit here, is congruent to AC, right? Let me undo that last bit. Okay, I'll redraw that. So go back to a drawing tool. So we know DB is congruent to AC. Okay. We also know that AD is congruent to BC. So I'll use a different color for that. AD is congruent to BC. And we're supposed to prove that angle D is congruent to angle C. Well, we could certainly prove that these two angles are congruent, but we don't have enough information to prove this side and this side and this side are congruent. Ultimately, we would be able to prove that. However, if we back up on the drawings that we've done and instead look at this, where we've got these overlapping triangles like this, we can actually prove the overlapping triangles are congruent. So this triangle can be proven to be congruent to this triangle, and because of side, because this bottom side is congruent to itself. So I'll draw that. This is congruent to itself by reflexive property. So side will prove that these larger triangles are congruent. And then if the larger triangles are congruent, then angle D and angle C are corresponding angles of congruent triangles and are therefore congruent by Kappa-Kadika. Okay, so that is basically it. This is definitely one of those cases where it would be useful to color code like that overlapping triangle and that overlapping triangle with different colors. So I might draw that triangle like this, and then I might use a different color to draw this triangle here, and then I would start labeling the different parts that are congruent. So notice they've labeled that as congruent, and that side is congruent. They've labeled this side as congruent, and this side is congruent. And then they've done a little squiggle down here to indicate that that side is congruent to itself. And once you've color-coded, it's easier to see the two triangles, and then use symbols to indicate the parts that are congruent. So side, and side for triangle ADB and BCA. Okay, I hope that has been helpful, and I will go ahead and